There's a strange thing that happens when your income goes up. You expect to feel richer. Instead, a few months later, your life somehow costs more, your bank account looks almost the same, and the things you used to consider expensive suddenly feel normal. You got the raise, but the raise disappeared. This is lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the most dangerous financial traps because it rarely feels like a trap. You don't wake up one morning and decide to become financially irresponsible. It happens quietly. Your old phone still works, but now you can afford a better one. Your apartment is fine, but now you can afford a nicer neighborhood. You used to eat out once a week. Now you can do it 3 times. None of these decisions seems outrageous on its own. That's the problem. Lifestyle inflation doesn't usually destroy your finances with one giant purchase. It does it through dozens of small upgrades that slowly become your new normal. Meet this guy. When he started working, he earned $3,000 a month. He wasn't rich, but his expenses were manageable. He had a modest apartment, an ordinary phone, an inexpensive car, and a few simple habits. Then something happened. He got a raise. His income jumped to $4,000 a month. For the first time, he felt like he had room to breathe. And he did. At least temporarily. Because instead of allowing that extra $1,000 to change his financial future, he let it change his lifestyle. First came the phone. His old one worked perfectly well, but the new model had a better camera, a brighter screen, and a few features he probably didn't need. It was affordable now, so he bought it. Then came the apartment. His old place was fine, but with an extra $1,000 coming in every month, paying a little more for a nicer place didn't seem unreasonable. So he upgraded. Then came the car. Then better restaurants. Then more subscriptions. Then more deliveries. Then small purchases that barely registered when he made them. And that's where the trap becomes difficult to see. His spending didn't suddenly explode. It simply expanded alongside his income. The extra $1,000 was no longer extra. It had become part of his lifestyle. And once you get used to a higher standard of living, going back feels like losing something. This is where human psychology makes the problem worse. A better apartment feels exciting when you first move in. A few months later, it's just your apartment. A new phone feels special for a while. Eventually, it's just your phone. A nicer car feels like an upgrade. Eventually, it becomes the minimum standard you expect. Psychologists call this adaptation. Humans are surprisingly good at getting used to improvements. That sounds positive. But financially, it can create a vicious cycle. You earn more. You spend more. You adapt. Then you need another increase in income just to feel like you're getting ahead again. And this creates a strange financial illusion. You can become much better at earning money without becoming much better at keeping it. Imagine someone earning $50,000 a year. Then, over several years, their income rises to $70,000. That sounds like a major improvement. But if their housing, car, food, entertainment, subscriptions, and other expenses all rise with their income, their financial position may barely change. They look more successful. They may feel more successful, but their wealth hasn't necessarily caught up. This is why income and wealth are not the same thing. Income is money coming in. Wealth is what you manage to keep and build. A higher income gives you more potential. It doesn't automatically create wealth. And lifestyle inflation attacks that potential. The dangerous part is that it often disguises itself as progress. You get a raise, and instead of asking, "How much can I invest now?" you ask, "What can I afford now?" That one question can change your entire financial trajectory, because your income can increase for years while your financial freedom stays exactly where it was. There's another problem. Lifestyle inflation is asymmetric. Once you upgrade, downgrading hurts. If you move from a small apartment to a luxury apartment, the luxury apartment quickly becomes normal. Going back to the smaller apartment can feel like failure. If you get used to eating at expensive restaurants, cooking more often can feel like a sacrifice. If you get used to a newer car, driving an older one can feel embarrassing. So every upgrade creates a new baseline. And now your future raises have a job before they even arrive. They have to maintain the lifestyle you already built. This is why some people can earn 6 figures and still live paycheck to paycheck. It isn't always because they are reckless. Sometimes their definition of normal simply became very expensive. And there is an important distinction here. The answer is not to hate spending money. Money is supposed to improve your life. There is nothing wrong with a better home, a good meal, a reliable car, or a few things you genuinely enjoy. The problem is when every increase in income automatically becomes an increase in consumption. You need a gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where wealth is built. Think of every raise as having 2 jobs. One part should improve your present life. The other part should improve your future life. If your income increases by $1,000, you don't need to save all $1,000. But you also don't need to spend all $1,000. Maybe you use $300 to make your life better, and the other $700 goes towards savings, investments, debt reduction, or another financial goal. The exact percentage isn't the point. The principle is, your lifestyle should grow slower than your income. That single rule can change the direction of your finances. Because if every raise increases your spending by the same amount, you'll always need the next raise. But if your income grows faster than your lifestyle, the difference becomes capital. And capital can eventually produce more money. That is where the game changes. At first, the difference may look insignificant. You earn an extra $500. You invest $200. What's the big deal? You invest another $200 next month, then another. Years pass. Your contributions accumulate. And eventually, your money begins generating returns of its own. Now you're no longer relying only on your paycheck. You're building assets. This is the deeper reason lifestyle inflation matters. It isn't just about whether you can afford a nicer phone. It's about what that money could have become if you had kept part of it. Every dollar has an opportunity cost. Spend it today, and you get something today. Save or invest it, and you give that dollar a chance to become something larger in the future. That doesn't mean you should never enjoy your money. It means you should understand what you're trading. The expensive dinner isn't simply a $100 dinner. It's also $100 that cannot be invested. The larger car payment isn't just a monthly payment. It's money that can't be used somewhere else. The bigger apartment isn't automatically a bad decision, but it should be a conscious decision, not an automatic consequence of getting a raise. This is the mindset shift. Instead of asking, "Can I afford it?" ask, "Do I want this enough to give up what this money could become?" That question forces you to think beyond the purchase. And this is where the idea of wealth becomes very different from looking rich. Looking rich is immediate. Wealth is usually quiet. A bigger house is visible. An investment account is not. A luxury car is visible. Debt-free living is not. A designer watch is visible. Financial independence is not. Lifestyle inflation makes the visible things grow. Wealth building makes the invisible things grow. And the invisible things are often what eventually buy you freedom. So what should you do the next time you get a raise? Don't make the decision immediately. Give yourself a pause. Let the excitement wear off. Then decide how much of the increase should improve your present life and how much should strengthen your future. Automate the future portion if possible. Because if you have to make the decision every month, your brain will eventually find a reason to spend it. Make the better decision automatic. And remember, you don't have to live like you're broke to become wealthy. You just need to avoid making every increase in income disappear into a more expensive version of your current life. The goal isn't to stay at the same lifestyle forever. The goal is to let your lifestyle improve intentionally while your wealth grows even faster. Because getting a raise can make you richer, but only if some of that raise survives long enough to become wealth.